to my channel. It is a super cold day here in Ireland, so I'm wearing like all of the layers and all bundled up, and I was just on my way back from the gym, and I thought I need to make this video because I've been having so many clients recently who have been struggling with just that tiny little thing that they need to do to change the way their baby latches so that their latch and their nursing journey becomes more comfortable. The latch becomes deeper, baby manages to get more milk and is more comfortable afterwards because they're not taking in as much air, nipples are healing, all of the things. And from what I realized is that sometimes it's just the tiniest changes to the way the baby's latching on, their attachment at the breast, that all of a sudden it's like that magic wand has been waved. So I'm going to give you my magic tips today, 3 tips that you can use that are going to make nursing so much more comfortable for you starting from right now. So if this is the first video that you've ever seen of mine, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. My name is Kitty. I'm a registered general nurse. I'm also an international board certified lactation consultant, birth and postpartum doula, hypnobirthing instructor, antenatal educator, and mama to 3 little people. So, a bit of a mouthful, but I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope you find these videos really helpful. I love to give you information that is quick, easy, super easy to digest, little nuggets of information that can make it really easy for you to apply to your daily life to make sure that your mamahood journey is just that little bit easier. Let's dive right into the tips. The breast. So when we think of a baby who has a nice deep latch, we think of them having a nice big mouthful of breast tissue as well. And in order for your baby to do that, a lot of it depends on the way that they approach the breast. So I have my trusty woolen breast here with me today, and I'm going to pretend that I'm the baby latching onto the breast to give you a nice clear demo. So what we would ordinarily see, or what I see a lot of breastfeeding support workers encouraging, is the minute the baby opens their mouth wide, you put the nipple into the mouth, something like this. And what happens is, yes, baby can get a nice deep latch here, but actually what we're forgetting is that baby uses their jaw and their chin to do an awful lot of the work in transferring the milk. So what we want to be doing is making the most of that. So instead, what I encourage you to do is have baby move down a little bit more. So they're shimmying down. So actually they're underneath the breast. And if anything, it's not nose to nipple level, it's nipple up the nose level, because we want baby to be able to tip their head back, which leads me to tip number 2. Shimmy down so the baby is nose up nipple up the nose. Support the head below ear level so the baby can tip their head back. So if I was a mummy supporting a baby in this scenario, I'd be putting my hands and my finger below ear level so they can tip their head back. Not even a finger should be on the back of baby's head because that restricts the movement. Just in the same way if you're going to drink from your water bottle and someone put their hand on the back of your head, it's really difficult to drink. So similarly so for baby. So first tip is to shimmy them down. Make sure you're supporting them below ear level. So then baby can tip their head back. Moving forward with this tip, I want you to ensure that when baby tips their head back, what's happening is they're hitting the chin to the breast first. That should be the first thing that hits the breast. So in this scenario, mummy's supporting baby below ear level. Head can tip back, waiting for the open mouth. Chin hits the breast first, up and on. So you can see in that position, baby can have their chin snuggled into the breast. They can use all these lovely oral facial muscles to transfer the milk. They've got a nice big mouthful of breast tissue. If any of the areola is showing, which I would expect, it would be above the upper lip because we've got down here that nice big mouthful of breast tissue. The nipple should be shooting back to that junction between the hard and soft palate, so it'll be much more comfortable for mum. Baby will get much more milk with that nice deep latch. They'll be much more comfortable. My third and final tip then is going to be looking at how our baby is in our arms. So while a lot of us will see this very typical, you see it on all the ads and on the telly, this cross cradle position, I would suggest you move away from that for those very early days. The reason being that it's difficult to support baby in this position because they can sort of lose their latch and slip in there. What also happens is the minute you take your eye off the ball, you relax your shoulders a little bit and the baby's latch becomes more shallow. So we want to get into a position where gravity is going to be favouring them. But the first thing, even before that I would look at is your baby in alignment? Have we got nice head, shoulders and hips in alignment? If they're not, I would suggest you pick up their nappy area and put them tummy to mummy. So they're in that nice straight line. Another tip, so tip number 4 that I want you to do is look at baby's arms. Put them up get that they love to get their hands involved, so that they are sandwiching the breast, they are hugging the breast. Babies love to get their hands involved, so they might even massage and knead the breast for you. You'd be surprised by the work that they are capable of doing. So when we're looking at a baby who's in this position now, we've got a baby who's approached the breast from below the nipple, so they can tip their head back and get a nice big mouthful of breast tissue. They are in alignment, head, shoulders and hips in a nice straight line. You are supporting them in a way that they can hug the breast so that their hands can get involved, and your tummy to mummy, so there's no gaps. In this scenario, for the absolute icing on the cake, for that 5th tip, if you've done all of these tips, you should be feeling comfortable, unless of course you need the support of a lactation consultant, or if maybe there's some tethering, some tongue tie, some restrictions going on there that need assessment. What I would encourage you to do is to lean back. Whatever scenario you're in, even if you're in a cafe chair or in the library, if you're in the bed, shimmying yourself back that tiny little bit means that baby will latch more deeply onto the breast because gravity is working in their favor. But it also means that you can take a free hand, you can bring this arm around like a little rail to keep them in place, and you've got a free hand for a cup of tea, for something to nibble on. And the longer that your baby will stay here nursing, the more gravity will work in their favor and the deeper their latch will become. This is also a fantastic position where your baby is above the breast to work on if your baby is struggling with that burst or that initial letdown, if it's really fast or quite forceful. So it can mean that if you have a lot of that kind of spluttering, coughing, maybe baby's gagging or choking on the breast, that coming back into a position like this means that not only is the latch going to be deeper so they can accommodate that milk flow, but that flow of milk, that spray of milk, has to go uphill, so it slows it down naturally. So there are my top tips. I hope you found them really helpful. I hope that by the end of this video you are feeling more comfortable breastfeeding, and if you are not, if you feel like there's maybe something underlying, maybe it's a nipple infection, maybe it's a fungal infection, maybe there's something going on like a milk bleb, mastitis, a blockage of some kind, don't hesitate to reach out. I will leave the information for my website down below, and I take Zoom bookings from all over the whole world, and I would love to support you today. So don't hesitate to get in touch, and thank you so much for watching. Congratulations if you've just had a new baby, and I will see you in my next video.